classic pose that we do in all our yoga classes, and some of you do it just to stretch out, and that is your downward facing dog. So today I wanted to workshop that pose just for a few minutes to have you see where you may be more destabilized in it and where you can get more stable and more strong. So kind of the do's and don'ts of the downward dog. And this is based on my style of yoga, which is core strength vinyasa yoga. It is deeply rooted in anatomy, alignment, biomechanics, fascia. So there's a lot of studies been done on the effect of shortening the downward dog pose versus lengthening it, and where that in-between phase is for you. It's also unique to your own bones. So somebody else's downward dog is not going to be yours, and mine is not going to be yours either. So these are tips to help you find your own downward dog so that you can attain this optimal length and freedom. And because you're doing it so repetitively, if you're doing it in a way that's going to compromise your lower back, it's going to catch up to you over time. So let's give it a try. Now I'm going to show you what a short dog looks like. You see this a lot, and you may even be able to be put in this position without even realizing that's what you are. But a short dog would be something like this, where you're really trying to get the heels to touch the floor and get this deep stretch in the back of the legs. Well, essentially what you're doing is pulling behind your hamstrings, pulling into your hips and your lower back, and eventually compromising that just to get your heels down. Now a very long dog might look like this, where you're not quite in a downward dog and you're not quite in a plank, but you're hanging out somewhere in between. So your ribs might be pouring out a little bit. There's a increased sweep up through the lower back spine, so you're feeling a bit of sink in the spine and the ribs, and then you're really almost trying to grip onto that mat because it keeps moving away from you. So that would be a long dog. And now to find your balance would be to again create that nice gecko grip with your fingertips, to plant your feet at a place that feels comfortable for you. So there should be about 2 fist width between my 2 feet. Knees can be soft. And then just noticing here that I'm not sinking, trying to press my chest back, but I'm going to sweep up through my spine and belly and keep freedom in my shoulders, meaning they're on my back, they're not hunched up here. Elbows have a tiny bend, knees may have a tiny bend, heels do not have to touch the floor, please note that. And you get this length, right, where you can like sweep up through the front of your spine, the back of your spine, and get a nice feeling of balance between the weight you're putting in your upper body and the weight you're putting in your lower body. And your gaze point can be just down, a little bit higher at the center of your mat. You breathe. And then when you're there, you're really going to be feeling a lot of fire through your whole body, because it is a pose that should work your whole body. It's not just a pose that should stretch your legs. It should be strengthening you and stretching you and maintaining good shoulder alignment, core support, spinal length. So there's a lot happening there. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about your downward facing dog.